We've been waiting a long time for this, gang. Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. I got two boxes. These are almost identical, except this is round and this is square. You're going to find out some amazing stuff about both of these. I'm not going to say the same thing in each review, so please watch both of them, and you can gather everything there is about ECG, about blood oxygen, about artificial intelligence monitoring. It's going to be in both of these reviews starting now. Let's unbox the round one. Here we go. Inside, we have the watch module itself with an ECG button here and electrodes on the bottom, along with diodes, you name it. It's red, it's infrared, it's green, it's got them all on this watch. We have a metal strap with this version that came out and the quick release pins that go with it. And inside the rest of the box, we've got the charging cable, which is a 2-pin connector that probably will hold the thing even with the band on. Nice. We got a little quality assurance thing. We've got your ECG test conditions and test method. Okay, these guys are really working hard to get it right, and same thing in Chinese. And a little manual, which we're going to get to after I tell you, that you can pick this one up directly from the FIYPO Global Store. This is the Global Watch, gang, from AliExpress. It's on the AliExpress site, the ECG Smart Bracelet E80. It does body temperature, it monitors ECG, it does artificial intelligence, I'm not going to use that word, but interpretation, advice of your heart reading, and it really is pretty cool. It's got respiratory rate. I mean, all of it is tossed into this one watch at around $35 or so. Check the show notes for the link to pick it up and hopefully a coupon discount as well. Looking over the specs, here we go. We're going to learn more when we actually look at the watch, so we'll just go through it. It's got your step count, fitness tracker, sleep tracker, all the kind of things you got. Push messages, 24-hour instruction, I don't know, I guess that's the 24-hour heart rate maybe. All these different languages supported. Life waterproof, no, because of all the complexities in this, you're not going to swim with this one. This is mostly for monitoring your vitals and other things. Okay, a 240 by 240 pixel round 1.28 inch screen on this one, full touch. And let's put it together and check it out. Oh yeah, the manual. Okay, for sure, the manual. This is one of those that the manual may be pretty important. We're going to look at the English thing here, and it's looking for SmartHealth as the tethering app, the QR code, or click on the link in the show notes, or just go to the Google Play Store and search on SmartHealth. Very interesting app, and it's really the magic in the app that's going to allow you to do the AI interpretation of the ECG charts that you generate from the device. Now really, ECG is pretty easy. Okay, wow, that wasn't bad. That's the whole English language right there. ECG is pretty easy if you've got the electronics proper in the watch itself to acquire the signal and send it by Bluetooth to your phone. It's the magic in the app, and we're going to be looking carefully at the app. Here we go, got the magnetic clasp band on here right now. It's really easy, just folds over and connects. And we're on our default watch face. A long press on the power button turns the watch on and gets into whatever face you've selected. Twist your wrist, should light it up with step count, calories burned, heart rate, current temperature, and distance traveled, all showing on that one screen. And there's other watch faces too. When you swipe down, you get into this mode. Here you've got your connection information. Do not disturb, activate. You can toggle that on and off. And about the watch says it's the E8. Okay, and then overall settings where you can change the brightness. We've got it on like a level 2 right now, which is pretty good. The twist your wrist, reset and turn the watch off. All those are capable right there. From here now, if I go to the left, I get into the current weather conditions with today and tomorrow forecast, a sport mode with cycling. It looks like a few different things there. and then they're all in written language right here. So I guess your most common ones show up first. This is for your breath, and we're going to do that on the Square Watch and show you how that thing works. This is your blood oxygen. Now, you're seeing the morning was nothing is there, but the afternoon so far, or late morning into early afternoon, does have some data. That's because I switched watches out. You'll see the beginning stuff in the other watch should be on here. Anyway, what we're looking at is blood oxygen. It's doing its reading right now. These are the regular continuous readings every whatever you want, 10 minutes, 20, half hour, hour. I've got it set for every half hour. In the meantime, it's doing its testing right now. Now it's using, can you see it, the green diode technology in here? And the red diode technology. I don't know if the camera's picking both of those up, but it's got it all. And infrared too, as I understand it. So it's really got the complement of, oh good, you get to see how it is. I've got to make sure I get that through, get that in position. Oh, I had it really tight. That's too tight, Uncle Dix. There, gentle. Okay, so I'm getting 98%. With the proper diode combinations for good accuracy. If I go back another one, I'm going to get into blood pressure. Now you see again the markings on there with a calibrated chart on the side showing you your systolic over sys over dis, systolic, diastolic. Anyway, your up and down reading will be there. Again, you need to be holding very still, just like if you were doing a cuff, if you want whatever you consider accurate readings, at least something believable. And that's pretty much right for me. So I was getting a reading there. That's using just the green diode technology. And one more swipe. We'll get to ECG. We'll be back in a moment on that. And then heart rate. And heart rate, of course, is showing you your high and your low. And again, you can see a chart developing, and it'll go all the way up to 200. So it's really made for doing some aerobic workouts, and you'll see that show up on the regular intervals here. Now, if you're in a training session, that's something completely different. But in this standard display, you're getting your heart rate with green diodes and the bar chart there as well. And then temperature, your actual body temperature. You can change it from the app to Fahrenheit or centigrade. And as you can see, I've got a temperature display on centigrade here, but my reading will be in Fahrenheit. You can't flip that chart display, but you can change this one down here. So if you guys want to do a conversion, you have both numbers right here. That's pretty cool. Okay, this was ECG, and I'm going to show you the ECG on this watch from the app. It's giving us bogus information now because I'm not touching the plate. I'm going to do the actual touch on the watch with the square one so that we can keep moving. But this one will show you in the app. And then, of course, you got your step count and information, and back to the watch face. And it scrolls the same this way. Temperature, heart rate, ECG, blood pressure, blood oxygen, breath rate, sporting activity, weather, and back to the home watch face. There's something additional on the Square Watch you're going to see that isn't on this one. So that's just something to keep in mind, depending on whether you want square or round. When I swipe up, I'm getting all those same things individually here. Temperature, your sporting activities, your heart rate, ECG, blood pressure, blood oxygen. That's the breath thing, the weather. Now, in addition, I've got last night's sleep information. That if you slept with this watch, that's what you'd get there. It'll show you your cumulative light and deep. And, of course, from the app, you can get more, too. You have to slide to the side to exit it. You've got a basic timer in here. And when you leave the timer and come back, you see it reset itself so it doesn't run in the background. This is for remote music playing from your phone. It's not going to play through a speaker here, but you can control it from the app. And, of course, you've got the remote camera, so you can use this to take a picture. And there's the QR code to scan to download the app that you're going to need in your phone for tethering, which is where we're ready to go right now because we've covered everything. We've got that, we've got that, we've got all of those. So that's it except for watch faces. We'll show you that through the app. The app called SmartHealth. This is a really cool app, and it has so much capability to it. We're going to hit open. I've already set up an account. I'm logged in. I'm ready to go. I'm connected to the watch, and this is my dashboard that has got all of my information, including the step count per hour and the actual measurement of those steps in that half-hour period. With overall cumulative distance, you can change the days. You can do all kinds of stuff on that. Really detailed information. We're coming back to the ECG. We'll take a look at the blood pressure. There's our readings. Here I took it off and took a shower. Here we're getting some more readings. I believe I did a blood pressure calibration in between there as well, which is a simple thing. You press that and you dial in what your typical cuff measurement is, your systolic and diastolic cuff measurement, and from there on it's measuring a deviation from what it perceives as normal, so your readings are going to be centered more or less around your normal. Now if it's abnormal, it's going to show you that, either high or low supposedly. If it's working properly and you're wearing it right and you're staying still and all of that stuff, you get your low and your high, and again you're getting the chart with your hourly or half hourly or every 10-minute, whatever rate you set it for in the app. You're getting those blood pressure readings here. You cannot, unfortunately, activate an instant blood pressure reading from the app. A lot of apps allow you to do that. This one doesn't. You have to wait for the timing to come up every increment, or you have to activate it from the watch. Then you get to heart rate. Now, you can change the order of these. This is just the order, the stock order. Again, you can see where I took it off, put it back on. Here's our heart rate readings. And it flags it if it's normal or abnormal, and I'm just sedentary while I'm doing all of this, so you see there's not much of a change. You're not getting the individual ones, and this one gives you a continuous chart, which is interesting. But it does show you I'm doing it every half hour, so that's what I'm set up for on the increments for blood pressure, heart rate, blood oxygen, and respiratory, and so forth. Sleep time. Okay, for some reason it didn't pull it into the watch, but there's last night's sleep time on the app. Okay, overall, how many times I was awake, fell asleep, awoke, deep, light, and the cumulative stuff down here, I guess. And then, of course, a chart that shows you that. Not a lot of depth of REM sleeping or sleep apnea or Lorenz plots or anything really, really super fancy that you can do when you have the red diode technology. And we've seen that in some of the other watches. In fact, check the playlist on sleep apnea. And I'll show you there all the different watches that support that. It uses a different app. This app could be upgraded to do that because the technology is in these watches. It's just a matter of pulling that data out and displaying it in the app. So maybe there'll be an app upgrade, especially if you guys ask for it. Oh, what did we do? Oh, I see. This slides across and you can actually get the time of each of those different things. It gives you a gauge of your sleep quality and estimation of how well you did, which is kind of nice too. Okay. That was sleep, blood oxygen, same kind of thing. Here's our charts. Looks pretty linear there. The most recent ones have all been 98%. Okay. That's a little questionable on whether or not that's just a stock answer or a real answer, but it's jumping between 91 and 93 throughout the night. You see that starting at midnight here. I got that kind of information. And respiratory rate. Now, we'll actually test this on the other watch, but when it does its test, and it's also doing it on an interval, it's counting how many times you breathe in a minute. And it's giving you a rate per minute of your breath. And I think that's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it's getting it from your blood, somehow, or if it's monitoring how your micro muscles move as you breathe. I don't know the technology behind it, but it does seem to be pretty accurate because that's kind of my breath rate that I'm getting from other devices like the Oura Ring and stuff that give me that information as well. So very nice that we have respiratory rate in this watch too. And then, of course, temperature, which is new to these watches since COVID. That wasn't in a lot of them. None of the sleep apnea ones that I've talked about have temperature as well. So we're really glad to see that we actually have temperature supported in here. All in Fahrenheit down to 1/10 of a degree. And of course, that can be flipped to centigrade in the settings. Again, you see when I took the watch off, when I put it on, what my readings are, cumulative, and so forth. Again, all of these, I cannot activate an instantaneous reading from the app, which I wish I could. That's great for COVID if you have somebody in a different room and you'd like to check their temperature out. But heck, you can set this every 10 minutes, gang, and you can have this Bluetooth remote in another room and measure the temperature, the blood pressure, the blood oxygen, the respiratory, anything you want every 10 minutes up to every hour, every 2 hours. So not a big deal. You can't take an instantaneous reading. That's all of the good stuff there. Activity, now when you tap that one, you get into a chart, shows you your location, GPS from the phone, and you can do some of your running and activities. You can download this app right now and play with that without even having the device, I'm pretty sure, and just check it out on your own. Care now. Care is where you can add a new friend, and the data, I believe, that you get from the watch that you're seeing in the dashboard can be transferred over to the friend, which could be the family member that's taking care of the person who's wearing the watch, be it a child, an adult, a senior, whatever. So worth checking out. I haven't gone through detail on that yet, but you got to add somebody, get them logged in, connect them up, and I'm pretty sure then they can see on their phone remotely through the cloud the dashboard information that you're getting right here. That's pretty awesome. Then settings. Settings has got your account, your device information, some basic stuff like your target and for sleep and step count, your overall unit settings that you can change in different categories, which is nice. And WeChat is supported, and some feedback kind of stuff. When you go into the device, this is where I want to show you the dials. You've got notifications, alarm clock, health monitoring. Here you go. Every whatever you want. I'm going to switch it to every 10 minutes from here on in, or I could do it every 60. Your temperature alarm now, if it goes above whatever temperature you set, and I've made it 100, kind of on the low side, so that maybe I'll get an alarm, and I did. I did get an alarm. I think it was a bogus reading, but it was like 100.1, and the thermometer thing flashed on the watch, and I was able to notice that I had a recorded high temperature coming in. You can set that. That's your temperature alarm. You can set your heart rate alarm of what your upper limit is for giving you notice that you're exceeding your capacity of how much you should have, and that's selectable as well. Your wrist brightness, that's twist your wrist to see it. Wearing it on the left or right hand comes in when we're doing the ECG thing on whether the spike is going up or down, so you want to get that correct. And then you can change the intensity, but you can do that from the watch as well, and all of this stuff. So that's all of that. That's all of that. And then dashboard, back here, ECG detection. I want to show you this one now. We're going to set this down. I'm going to show you how you activate it and do the test from the phone on this watch, and on the other one, we will show you how you do it directly on the watch and transfer it over to the phone. You ready? Okay, so I'm going to hit this start. It tells me to get it ready and to wear it properly, and I say start test, and it's actually starting, switched into ECG. I got to touch that bottom plate and not touch my arm, and now you see the ECG chart creating down below. Let me move this out so it'll focus. You see there? Okay, now it's not a really clean chart what's happening right now. I'm kind of all sweaty and messed up, and it's not showing you the chart on the watch in this mode, but it is recording the ECG in the watch, and when you're Bluetooth tethered and doing it remotely measured from the app, it's actually doing it that way as well. You can tell it's a legitimate one because I'm going to mess around with it a little bit, and now watching it catches up, you're going to see where I move my finger around. See that? It kind of lost the signal. It's doing bizarre stuff. So it is actually getting ECG information, and It says PPG, ECG. It's not showing you even a heart rate on this one, so it truly is just for collecting the information. Okay, it gave me a diagnostic result on this. It gives you the information you put in. I didn't show you that tab, but you can put in your parameters. I've registered female 47 and so forth. It gives me an estimated blood pressure, and then the chart is right here. And I guess you can look at it. Yay. It's a mess. Sorry, it's a mess. Normally, it's not that way. I'll try to be better on the other watch. But there you go. It gives you all of that. And then it's giving you symptom screening, okay? And it will just flag whether or not you should look further with your medical provider as to whether you have any of these conditions showing up, that the artificial intelligence looking at your waveform detected the potential for being there. Not saying that it is, not saying that it's a diagnosis, but it's an awareness that you should check it. Now, when it's nothing like this and it's messed up like that, I would say the AI can't even do like face recognition, right, in a crowd, and it can't pick the people that you know are your friends out. Well, it's missing them. This is a mess, and so it's probably just going to report nothing because it's a mess. But if you get a good chart, and that good chart has certain issues, then you should see these flagged here for your information. Okay, and that happens when we do the test initiated from here. I can... Oh, okay, I thought I could play it, but no, it's asking to do another test. So it gave me my heart rate variability, which is a great number when you learn how to use this, and your blood pressure, all from your ECG. And one last thing is this, and I'll show you that in the other watch, because that's where we're going to look at previous results as well. Okay, I think that covers it for what we want to talk about on this one. Let me just get it off. Now, for me, it is right at the edge of being able to slip it off my wrist. I'm about a 7-inch diameter, but then you got to worry about the size of your wrist here, too. Anyway, yeah, it just slides through with the metal band. You can get different bands on it. Dials. Okay, sure. I forgot about the dials. So I'm back in the tab on the watch. I'm going in here to the dial market. Now, look carefully here. I've got the actual dial that's selected. It's the current watch. I have some that I could install, and I have some that are installed already that I can set as current. So if I say set that as current, it's switched to that one. Anything that says install, I need to install it. If I set this one, this is one of my favorites, because you got your temperature, you got your blood, or your heart rate, and you got time and date. Those are like the 4 main things that I want to know about. But you also have other things. Here's another one you can set as current. Now, I can do these by pressing and holding and sliding, right? But I can also do it from within the map. Here's a little colorful flower one. You can have quite a few of them in here, but only a few of them can actually be changed. Some of them are stock faces. And there's a lot. There's a lot. When you get your device, you can check them all out and see what you got. You can install, I'd say, 2, I think 1 or 2 of these. This is one I have. Oh, I did have. I think I got that one installed on the Square Watch, so we'll look at that one. A lot of these are similar between the two. Yeah, okay, and that's basically how you set the display. And it's a really nice display. It's good and bright outdoors. Oh, look at that. It went into it for us already automatically. How sweet. That's the one we were looking at before. Here's a kind of a fun one to make this a really nice dress watch, yeah? Cool. All right, where do you get it? Once again, this is a FIYPO global store. There you go. At AliExpress has it, and I have a link in the show notes for you. There's different pricing depending on the band combination you're getting with it, and hopefully I'll have a coupon discount for you as well. Now, be sure you head over and take a look at the review of the FP8, which is almost identical to this one, but is in the Apple size and shape square watch. And between the two, you'll see everything there is to know about both of them and be able to pick out which one you prefer, or maybe both. See you again soon.